Hey there, I hope you've been doing well. It's Keegan. I want to talk to you guys for like 30 seconds here at the very beginning to explain a couple of things. Number one, I'm going to jump right into the reading. I'll show you guys what I'm going to be focusing on, what I'm going to be asking, what the cards mean. But beginning with these readings, moving forward for the rest of 2021, I'm going to be offering extended readings beyond what I post for the general readings. And in the middle of this video, at some point, I'll insert a little explanation about what that means. There'll be no mid-roll ads. During this video, you'll just hang out with me for a little bit as I explain that. So let's go ahead and take a look just to get started on what I'm going to cover for the general reading here. I'm going to be taking a look at 8 different things here in a spread based on different aspects of the connection that you might have with this person. If you're not in a relationship with someone, you can still watch this if you'd like. You can view this as the person who's approaching you next. But this is a love reading, taking a look at an actual relationship here. So these are the things I'm going to be taking a look at. You can see them here on the screen. If you're not looking at the screen, you might want to take a look really quickly and just pause it. But what I'll do is I have 2 decks, and I'm going to basically go through and I'll pull a couple of cards from each of those decks and see what wants to come out. And then, as I mentioned, there will be an extended reading based on what happens in the general reading, and I'll jump in the middle of the video to talk to you guys more about what will be covered in that extended reading. Okay, Scorpios, let's take a look and see what wants to come out for you for this reading. I've been trying to decide how I want to do this, and I think I want to just work my way through one position at a time in terms of what I'm looking at. I think that's going to make it be a little bit faster. I do just want to shuffle here on camera for those who like to see that. You can see the name shuffling here. I'm working with 2 decks, and I'm going to go through and free shuffle for each of the positions out of each of these 2 decks. That'll make more sense probably when you see me do it. But I think we are getting close. This deck feels good. Okay. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to move this deck over to the side. I'm going to start with this deck. We're looking first at the first, let's do the first 2 positions, okay? So we're going to take a look and see what you bring to the relationship and then what they bring to the relationship, okay? Give me insight into what the listener brings to the relationship, please. What does the listener bring to this relationship? Thank you. Okay. And insight into what the other person brings to this relationship, please. What does the other person bring to the relationship? And then let's go through this deck as well. Give me insight into what the listener brings. Thank you. What does the listener bring to this relationship? And what does the other person bring to the relationship? Okay. So let's talk about these guys. We're going to start with you, the person listening to me. I'm just going to turn these over. So coming out for you in terms of your contribution to this relationship, I'll show you these cards up close. We have the Queen of Cups coming out upright, the High Priestess coming out upright, 3 of Wands reversed, and the 10 of Coins coming out upright. So in terms of your contributions here, this is rather impressive. We'll start with these 2 in combination. We have the Queen of Cups and the High Priestess. And I think, odds are, if you are a Scorpio, this really resonates with you. Okay, the Queen of Cups represents energy that's really supportive, nurturing. It's a very patient sort of energy here. I also think that you are willing to sacrifice quite a bit in this relationship. Now, I did get a sneak peek at some of the stuff the other person's bringing in, and we'll talk about whether or not that sacrifice is wise. But I do think that you're willing to make a lot of sacrifice to try to make this work. With the High Priestess coming in, the other thing that really is resonating in terms of what you are bringing into this relationship is you are bringing in absolute connection with your intuition. You are seeking out something that feels deeper than just a casual connection. You're looking for something that has a definite purpose. For you, what you're bringing in is the willingness to explore this relationship with depth. You're bringing in a willingness to go all in, not only on this level, but on the spiritual level as well. So, if you're someone who, if 3D, 5D is something that you resonate with, you are bringing in that willingness to go into that 5D level. This is something that you're willing to go all in on. Okay. And with these other two cards, this is interesting energy as well, with this Three of Wands reversed and the Ten of Coins coming out here. Because for you, you do not necessarily need this relationship in order to be happy and content. You have basically everything that it is that you need to have a happy life. So for you, you're looking at a situation in which the person that you're willing to go into a partnership with, they have to bring something more to the table than just companionship. Not to say that they have to be able to like support you because you're able to support yourself. It's more that they have to add something to what for you is an already happy life. They have to bring something more. You're not willing to settle because you've figured out how to create your own happy life. Now, with this Three of Wands, what I will say is that it's reversed here, but what this really means in terms of what you're bringing to the relationship is that you're not going to give up just if things take some time. If this person needs to work on some things, if this person needs to navigate their own energy, if they need to heal some trauma, again, with this Queen of Cups, what I mentioned, you're patient. You're willing to ride out some rough patches because you know that being able to do that doesn't cost you anything. Now, that's not always the case, okay? Because the energy for the people that I'm picking up on, you've done a lot of work. You're coming in with this, right? Coming with the Queen of Cups and the High Priestess, both showing up upright. So you've done the work that you need to do. So what you realize is that putting in the effort, having the patience, putting in the time to work through whatever might happen, any delays or obstacles, as long as you feel that this is for your good, as long as you feel like this is something that's going to enrich and add to what you already have, you're willing to absolutely go through the rough spots. And as a Scorpio, that makes sense because those rough patches don't intimidate us. They don't scare us. Now, I'm going to leave this High Priestess sitting right on top in terms of what you bring into this relationship, because I feel like that's really the most resonant energy. Let's take a look at this other person. Now, it's very interesting, this card. Now, you have the High Priestess. They have the Magician. Now, that is, a pairing. Okay, so again, if divine counterparts is something that means something to you, twin flames, soulmates, it's an indication of that. Now, this other person, they're showing up reversed here. Okay, so in terms of what are they bringing into the relationship with this Magician being reversed? Well, a couple of things that I'm picking up on. Number one, I think that they're bringing in energy that's similar to yours, but they're coming in from a bit of a lower vibrational place initially. Okay. Sometimes when this Magician reverse comes out, it freaks me out a little bit. Okay. But because of where this is being placed in terms of what they're bringing in, right? What they bring into the relationship, this position kind of forces all the cards to have almost a bit of optimism or positivity to them. Okay, so how can the Magician reversed be a good card, right? So they are, it's almost like they are the dark version of this light energy that I had over here, okay? Now, this can mean a couple of things. One, it can mean that they are just a bit further back than you are in terms of their own evolution and understanding. Or they could just be someone that embraces their dark side in a very intense way. And sometimes that can be good and sometimes that can be bad. So let's take a look here and see what's going on with the rest of the cards. So we have the Knight of Wands also reversed, the Three of Swords reversed, and the Page of Coins coming out reversed. as additional insight into what this person's bringing into the relationship. Now, there is a little bit of concern here for me because this Magician reversed, Knight of Wands reversed combo, that's a little bit scary for me. Okay. At the very minimum, this represents someone who they're not quite on your level. Now, again, you might choose to see this through with this person. You might choose to investigate this more deeply because, again, you might see potential within this person. And if you're sitting with this High Priestess, Queen of Cups upright, your intuition's pretty bang on. So if you feel like this person has potential, if you feel like this person has the ability to be someone who could grow and expand and you're wanting to invest the time and effort into them, then, move forward with that. Now, if you're sitting here with your intuition saying, I don't know if I can trust this person, I don't know if this person is fully above board, I don't know if this person means what they say, I don't know if this person is actually telling me the truth, there are some cards here to, again, speak to your intuition. And we're going to go really in depth in this reading. This is going to be one of my most in-depth readings that I've ever done. And there will be an extended on top of this, which I'll talk to you guys about in a little bit. So we'll see how this person plays out as more cards come out. But I think at a minimum, this person isn't quite ready for what they might be venturing into, right? So for you, you're looking at someone who can come in and add something. Now, what this person might add is the ability for you to help them along the pathway. This person might come in and you might say, I was exactly where you were a couple of years ago. I was dealing with a lot of pain. I was trying to heal. I do think with this Three of Swords being reversed, it's an indicator that whatever it is that is causing them to be a little bit not in the best energy, they're working on it. They're working on trying to heal it. They're working on trying to sort it out. They're working on trying to make progress on it. But you have this Page of Coins coming out reversed, and it's almost like they're not putting in that much energy. They're trying, but they're not quite able to figure it out. And so with this, I would say this person at a minimum in terms of looking at them, right? They're a project. Not to diminish them and just using that word, but they would need you to really show them a lot. They would need you to explain a lot to them. They would need you to be able to stay in your higher vibration and help them figure out how to raise their own, right? Now, if you have a lot of concern about these people, 3 out of these 4 cards are also concerning to me. Okay, but we're going to take a look and see what's going to happen. Now, it's interesting in terms of talking about this because the next areas that we're going to take a look at is what you are going to receive or gain from the connection and what the other person is going to receive or gain from the connection as well. Okay, so we're going to go back to these same decks. I'm going to take a look at you first in terms of what you stand to receive or gain from the relationship. Go through this deck once. It's that Queen of Wands showing up. It's very interesting. They have that King of Wands coming out reversed. You're showing up as a Queen of Wands upright. It's more of an indication here of what I was saying, that your energy is just a little bit raised vibrationally from there. So you also have the Seven of Cups coming out reversed. Let's see what they have come out of this deck in terms of what they stand to receive or gain from this connection. Have the Chariot coming out. We have a card we can't yet see. We'll leave that flipped over until I get to it. Again, we're going to use 2 decks here because I want this to be a pretty in-depth reading. It's the first reading of the year. I want to make sure that those of you who are just going to do the general reading with me and not the extended reading that I'm going to do get a full insight into this, because I don't want it to feel like anything's changing in terms of the amount of effort or focus that I'm putting in for you. Okay, so again, what is it for you that you stand to receive or gain from this relationship? Very interesting. 10 of Cups showing up here. Think about this other person. What do they stand to gain or receive as a result of this connection? Okay. It's interesting with this person's energy. I'll just tell you, even going through as I'm flipping back and forth between focusing on you and focusing on them, you seem to be very open, right? All of your cards, for the most part, are coming out flipped over. You're literally showing your cards here. Now, for this, what you stand to receive or gain from the relationship, this Queen of Wands is very interesting to me because I think part of what you're going to gain from this is that um, this person does bring in a certain level of excitement, and they bring in something that makes you feel very wanted and desired. They make you feel very sure of yourself. They make you feel very confident. I think that they put a lot of focus and attention on you. Seven of Cups coming out reversed um, with this Ten of Cups, and these two feel like they are almost in combo. I think for you, Scorpio, um, in past connections with people, it could be that you haven't really felt like you've had their focus, that you haven't really had their attention, or that the amount of effort that you are willing to put into the relationship hasn't necessarily been worth it. Um, it Meaning that you've always felt a little bit of disappointment when it comes to the level of commitment that you put in versus what you've gotten back in return. Now, in this particular situation, the cards are saying that that disappointment and that maybe having a bit of like rose-colored glasses in terms of looking at people and thinking, oh, they have so much potential, and I'm willing to put this in, and I'm willing to overlook this, and I'm willing to keep going and trying and whatever, even when I'm not getting the attention and the focus that I need. That comes to a close in this relationship because it seems like this person actually could potentially lead to the Ten of Cups. Now, let's take a look over here and see what's going on with them in terms of, what are they going to gain here. Now, we have this card that we can't see, so I'm going to put it at the very back. Five of Wands, I want to start with this card. One of the things that I think this person really gains from this, with this card being reversed in its state, is that their tendency to avoid conflict, their tendency to avoid putting in the work, their tendency to avoid dealing with conflict in relationships or obstacles that come into their path, it goes away here because they honestly do. This feels like a situation, and it's so weird for me to see that Magician reversed and not be like screaming and putting up like warning signs here, right? But this person really does feel like they want to figure out how to not give up so easily. They want to figure out how to deal with things that need to be dealt with, and they're inspired by you because your approach with them of being able to come in and talk, and your willingness to open up, your willingness to share, it really does motivate them. Further here, we have the Chariot that's shown itself, and it's upright. They gain courage here. They gain motivation to really take action and put in the work that needs to be put in. This relationship for them is something that inspires them to grow. This relationship is something that inspires them to explore themselves more deeply than they have in the past. Now, we have two cards here we haven't been able to see yet, so let's see what they are. Two of Coins coming out reversed. And then we have the Knight of Pentacles also reversed. Now, keep in mind, this is what they gain, what they receive from this connection with you. Now, these two cards on their own are not necessarily that great, right? But in the context of this being what they receive, we're looking at these things being resolved from this relationship. So we have the Two of Coins. What does that typically represent? Well, this represents someone who's not able to commit, someone who's not able to really make a choice. They're overwhelmed by having to make a decision. They're overwhelmed by having to, pull the trigger on things. Knight of Pentacles reversed is a very similar sort of energy, right? It's someone who doesn't have the drive or the ambition to put in what needs to happen, right? It's someone who isn't willing to put in the work, who isn't reliable. With this reading, the way that it's showing right now, this is a situation where if you're willing, Scorpio, if you're willing to embrace this person, if you're willing to see that they are, they're not as far in their own development. They're not as far in their journey spiritually, energetically, as you are. But if you're willing to accept that, if you're willing to see them and see the potential within them, this relationship does set up a very interesting place where they get a ton of healing and a ton of growth from this connection, a lot of it. A lot of the things that have held them back, a lot of the reasons why they're showing up like this Magician reversed, King of Wands reversed, goes away because they're motivated to let it go. I think also, as I was laying these cards down, this Three of Swords jumped out energetically as well, because I think for them, there's a lot of pain that they're going to bring in. There's a lot of pain that they're going to bring in. But this being on this, like right on the edge of healing that, of being able to process it and understand it and see the lessons that are within it for them. When they come in and you hit them with, this high priestess vibe, it just inspires them so much. And it's so interesting here because, we have the high priestess and the magician, a match, but on their side, that magician's reversed. You're upright. Over here, we have the Queen of Wands, King of Wands, right? They have the King of Wands here. Another match. Again, you're upright, they're reversed, but you're only upright in that situation as a result of being in this relationship. You get to feel desired, you get to feel wanted, you get to feel important, you get to feel like you have someone's attention, you have someone who really sees you as being something that that they want, and it creates a certain amount of confidence within you, because I think what's happened here in the past is that you've been too much for other people. People have probably told you that you're too much, you're too intense. It's uh, you're too deep, and why do you want to know so much about me, and why do you I think that Scorpios, we can all relate to that, but in this situation, right, they want you to be as big and as intense as possible. And this really, on your side especially, if I'm just looking, if I divide this in half at this point and I have you and them, right, there's so much good for you inside of this relationship, inside of this connection, because you get to be as intense as you want, you get to be as caring and compassionate as you want, and it ends up feeling safe, even though this person has a lot in the beginning that they need to sort through. You see that they're willing, you see that they're able, right? But it's only through this connection with you that they start to um, almost like see their own potential. It's interesting too, because I feel like this person views themselves this way. This person views themselves as being someone who, you know, isn't capable, isn't able to be, very strong. They're not able to manifest what it is that they want. They see themselves as being, um, they're quite hard on themselves. They're quite hard on themselves, and it's not necessarily true. It's something that they, um, their own experiences, it's conditioned them to think of themselves in that way. But you will see what they're capable of, and I think from being in this relationship of being loved by you and the way that you love them, right? This Queen of Cups, the way that you love them really inspires them to start to see themselves differently. Hey guys, it's me. As promised, I'm jumping in here in the middle to talk to you guys for a little bit. This would be considered your mid-roll ad break, but please don't click away from me, because I want to explain something to you guys. Even if you're not interested in the extended readings, you might be down the road when I post general readings. So I just want you to know, if you're still here hanging out, I want you to know what's going on. So first of all, I just want to talk to you about the easiest way to get access to those. I'm going to have links that are in the description box below directly to the extended reading, as well as a link that will take you directly to the sign up page to become a member here on the channel. The extended readings are going to be members only, and the reason for that is because I wanted to shrink the number of people that I was tuning into for those extended readings. It allows me to go a little bit more in depth and get a little bit more specific, because instead of reading for thousands of people, I'm probably going to be reading for dozens or 100, right? So that's the purpose behind doing the extended readings. I also want to bridge the gap between the people who want a little bit more information than what I can do in the general readings, but maybe can't afford a personal reading with me, or they aren't comfortable doing a personal reading with me, and they want to get a little bit more of an explanation from the cards. So that's why I'm doing that. Now, I also want to let you guys know what I'm going to look at in that extended reading, so you can make up your mind about whether it's something that's interesting to you in terms of this reading, or if you want to wait and maybe join up the next time. What you can see here is I'm going to take a look at a few more things in terms of this relationship, this connection. We'll focus in on those. I'm going to use 2 decks again. I'll pull 2 cards, one from each deck, look at the energy of those things, and that's what we'll be taking a look at in the extended reading. Now, if you're not looking at the screen, you might want to take a look because I have it listed here on the screen for you. But I just wanted to jump in and let you guys know exactly what was going on, and we're going to go right back into the general reading now. Okay, we're going to take a look at the 5th position, and this is specific to you. We're not going to take a look at this for the other person. We're going to take a look solely at you because you don't really have a lot of control over this for the other person. So we're going to take a look at you, your secrets, or your fears around this relationship. Okay? Because if we can take a look at that and get insight into what's going on with you and your secrets and your fears, then you can start to work on those things because you're ready, right? High Priestess, whatever it is that comes out here, you're ready to deal with it. What's going on for my Scorpio in terms of secrets or fears regarding this relationship, this connection? Okay. Go to the other deck. We have the 2 of Wands showing itself reversed here. I want to get the other card out so we can get a little bit more context around this. But I think one thing I can say here is, you have a fear of this not working. And again, I think that's because, as we were talking about the 7 of Cups, 10 of Cups, in the past, this hasn't worked, right? It hasn't aligned itself in the past for you. You have a fear of going in on this, investing in someone, loving someone, opening yourself up to someone, caring about someone, and it not working out. Right? 2 of Wands with the 9 of Swords upright. You're terrified. It's a lot of stress and anxiety for you to think about this not working out, about going in on something and having it all fall apart. I also think there's a little bit of a conflict internally for you about opening yourself up to someone again. Because I think in the past, you've had things that have gone really wrong. You've had people who've treated you very badly. You've had people who have not embraced you for who you are, and you've had to either water yourself down or apologize for how you are, or try to change or mold yourself, and that just never works for a Scorpio. Because even if we do try it, we can't stick to it because our default is to be intense. Our default is to be really, really attached and to really care deeply when we decide to care. We don't care easily, but when we do, we go all in, right? And so in the past, you're bringing in a lot of fear as well. And it's interesting because this might be part of the reason why this works out, because, in terms of what the other person's bringing into the relationship, right? They have this 3 of Swords reversed, and they're being very upfront about that. It's very clear that they have a lot of pain. They have a lot of things that they don't know yet, a lot of things they don't understand, a lot of things that they know are holding them back, and they're very transparent with that. Now you are coming through as being very confident, very self-assured, but the hidden fear for you is that you'll go in on this and it won't work, and it really weighs on you quite heavily. And be mindful of that, because if this fear starts to overwhelm this High Priestess, Queen of Cups energy, then it can limit your ability to inspire this person. So you have to walk the walk. You have to really be showing, your own awareness of yourself, your own awareness of the things that might hold you back, and be willing to work on them, because that's what allows this person to begin to trust in you. Okay. So the 6th position, which we'll place over on this side, this represents the common ground or the shared goals that the 2 of you have in regards to this relationship. Okay. I think this is something that's really important to take a look at. What do you have in terms of shared goals or common grounds? What is it that you both are seeing eye to eye on in terms of where you want this relationship to go? Okay. Had a couple of cards come out there. We're going to switch over to the other deck. And again, what is the shared vision, common ground for these 2 people, please? Make sure nothing else flipped in this deck. I don't think it did. Okay, so I think we have 4 cards here. Let's see what we have. So we have the Two of Swords. Oh, Queen of Swords reversed, Two of Swords, Queen of Coins reversed, King of Coins upright, Page of Cups upright. Okay, so let's talk about this in terms of shared vision, shared goals, common ground. What's going on with the two of you? Well, so it's interesting, right? Queen of Swords coming out reversed. I don't think in the situation the shared goal between the two of you is that you want this to be really cold and distant and unloving and cruel, right? So I think in the past, both of you have dealt with relationships that weren't completely honest. You weren't able to be yourselves. You weren't able to feel safe. And your goal is to ensure that that isn't something that exists here, right? Again, if you feel like you are wanting to manipulate and hurt somebody and be a liar, then maybe they share that with you. But this is shared ground. I can't imagine anyone goes into a relationship wanting to have dishonesty, wanting to have things that feel cold and detached. Now, it's very interesting because you have another queen here, Queen of Coins, also showing up reversed. I want to talk about this card next. I think in past relationships, both of these people have felt like almost like they didn't matter to the people that they were in relationships with, or that they would easily potentially be discarded, tossed out. There's a bit of like ambivalence with this card, and I think that is one of the things that both of these people just really cannot tolerate. It's funny with the Scorpio. Um, I'm going to assume at this point most people listening to me are still Scorpios. If you're a cross watcher and you care about Scorpio, this is probably good for you to know. But I'll share this. A Scorpio, someone who doesn't care at all, someone who's ambivalent towards them, is going to irritate them more than someone who acts like they outright hate them, right? Because ambivalence is so opposite of Scorpio and that intensity and that willing to feel, right? So, and on the flip side of that, if the Scorpio ever acts like they really don't care about you one way or the other, that's a very bad sign because it means they can't even manage to hate you. They've just lost interest completely. Okay. So I think with both of these, neither of you want to deal with feeling like things can't be honest. Neither of you want to be in a situation where you feel like you don't matter. Both of you coming through with this Two of Swords, you want things to be, you want to be able to make decisions together. You want to be able to feel like things are certain. You don't want to exist in that gray area of ambiguity or not quite knowing what's going on. You want things to really be able to be clear, right? And I think also with this Two of Swords, what I'm getting is you want to be able to work things through together. You want to be able to make decisions with this person. You want to be able to talk to them about things. You want to be able to know that you can depend on them, count on them. Okay. So this Page of Cups, King of Pentacles combo here, I like this energy because we had that Queen of Coins, right, from the other deck come out reversed, and here we have the King coming out upright. And I think one of the things that I really love about this is that the King of Coins is all about stability. It's all about being able to trust and knowing that someone's in it for the long term. It's energy of really investing in this relationship, investing the time in each other, and knowing that it's going to lead to something that's very stable, something that's very solid. And this Page of Cups here coming through, I love this combination because it's not that the seriousness or the weight or the commitment of the relationship takes the fun out of it. There's still a lot of affection and flirting that I sense here. It's a very romantic sort of connection, and it feels new. It feels like it's important for both of you that this relationship not become stale, that you're always pushing each other, you're always challenging each other, you're always, um, you know, falling in love with each other again. And what I love about that is in those situations when relationships have that, right? When relationships can go for a long term, when they can go for a good stretch of time, and even though it has been a pretty good length of time, both of those people are growing and they're changing and they're evolving. They're becoming, different people along the way because they're allowing themselves to grow and change and learn new things. And in the relationship, they're having to learn and adjust to the person that they're in the relationship with being a different type of person, having a different type of energy. And so there's growth that happens here that's actually really beautiful. And so you're always sort of captivated and mesmerized by this person, or at least that's what you want, right? That's the goal. That's the shared goal of what these two people want in terms of a relationship. I'm going to do this with this deck and then the other for both. So take a look at your perception of them. Boom. Lovers. Lovers with the Eight of Cups, your perception of them. Now let's take a look at their perception of you. Their perception of Scorpio. Ace of Cups. This is a beautiful reading, guys. Ooh. Got a card flip here. We have the Six of Cups coming out reversed. This card, I'm gonna take this card this way. Seven of Swords. We'll talk about what this means, but we have another deck to get some cards out here. Scorpio's perception of the other person, please. Insight into Scorpio's perception of the other person. Eight of Wands. Let's take a look at this other person's perception of you. We'll talk about these cards and wrap this reading up. Scorpios, I just want to say Happy New Year to you, because officially I'm tuning into the energy of your new year, and it looks like things are going to be really good for you, and that makes me really happy. And I also just want to say, to those of you who do decide to join up as channel members and are going to join me for the extended reading, I just want to say thank you so much for supporting me and the channel in that way. Okay. Give me insight to the other person's perception of Scorpio. Thank you. An additional insight for the other person's perception of Scorpio, please. Okay, we just have the one card. We go ahead and flip that over. So let's see how you view this other person, Scorpio, okay? So it's very interesting here. We have the Lovers with the Eight of Cups and the Three of Wands, okay? So obviously, you know, with the Lovers, Scorpio, you're very intrigued by this person. You see a lot of potential in them. You see that they offer something to you that is different and unique than what you've had from other people in the past. The other thing that I think in terms of your perception of this person with this Eight of Cups is you see that this is someone who has so much potential to be able to move away from the things that have held them back in the past. You see that they have the potential to heal. I mean, that's the best way of explaining it. They don't see that in themselves. And I think it's really interesting that you see it. And with this Eight of Wands coming out as well, you know that it's not going to take a lot. This person, I think for you, you would say, gosh, no one has ever loved them the way that they need to be loved. And I can do it. I'm totally capable of doing it. And you want to. You really are very taken by this person. Now, their perception of you is very interesting, okay? Ace of Cups was the first card that came out here. It's upright. They are absolutely, they see the potential here. They know that this is something that can be really special. They know that this is something that can mean a lot. They're aware of that. Now, it is interesting, Scorpio, and I do want to just kind of point this out to you. With this Three of Pentacles coming out reversed here, it's really important that you let this person know how much they do mean to you. Because again, you know, like I said, with that, you have the Ten of Pentacles, you have the High Priestess, you have the Queen of Cups coming through, right? Like they know that you don't necessarily need anyone, right? They're aware of that. They can perceive that in you. So it's really important that you let them know that you want them, right? It's very important that you let them know that. Now, here's something that I think is very interesting. And again, we're wrapping up the general reading and I'm moving in energetically to what will eventually become the extended reading. So this may not apply to all of you, right? But I'm going to talk about these two cards together. So we have the Six of Cups coming out reversed, and then we have the Seven of Swords, which is showing up upright here. And I have to tell you, this person does have some concerns. They have some worry that there might be someone from your past that could cause problems here. Scorpios, congrats on that general reading. Really beautiful, honestly. If you are going to join me for the extended reading, the link to that extended reading will be in the description box of this video. YouTube has made it a little bit complicated to sign up as a member. By far, the easiest way to do it is just to go to my channel on a laptop or a PC or on a web browser on your phone or on like a tablet. But I'll put a link in the description box below directly to the video. And when you click on that, it should tell you members only and give you an option to sign up. And I'll also include a link that is directly to the sign up option to become a member here. If you're not going to join me for the extended read, still a really beautiful general read for you. I'm super happy for you. And for those of you who are not going to go to extended, I'll put a couple of other Scorpio videos up here in case you want to still hang out with me a little bit more. You can just click on one of those and I'll be there waiting for you. Okay, I'll see you guys in a few weeks to check in mid-January 2021. Thank you so much for all the support and love. Give this video a thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, why are you not subscribed? Like 70% of you watch my videos and don't click the subscribe button. So take a minute, subscribe. Okay,